Hello guys, welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Jordan Reynolds. He is 5-0 with 2 knockouts and he's back out Brentwood Centre. Yes, on the 2nd of September against McCallum in a final eliminator for the English middleweight title over 10 rounds. And how are you?
I'm all good, mate. How are you? How you keeping?
I'm good. Thank you for coming on my channel.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure.
And before we get into that fight, we'll talk about your first 5 fights. So you made your debut back in 2021 against Robbie Chapman, and you won every round, and that was a 6-round fight.
Yep. Yeah. Listen, Robbie Chapman is someone you take. I know a lot of fighters who are in the top 10 in the UK. They take Robbie Chapman in their 12th, 13th fight. Do you know what I mean? He comes to win. He's solid. He's been around. He's not someone who just tucks up. Do you know what I mean? And I nearly got him out of there. If it was a few more rounds, I would have got him out of there. But listen, at this stage in the early fights, it's good to get the rounds in, mate. It's put me in good stead, and I'm ready to push on now, mate.
Then you fought Jan Arden.
Good fighter he is, mate. He's a good fighter. Yeah, he's good. He's won his last few other fights after he boxed me. Another fighter comes to win. Solid southpaw.
And you knocked him down twice.
Yeah, knocked him down twice. Then he went on a bit of survival mode, and I couldn't it's all right forcing it, but it's with them little gloves, you can't take no risks. So I thought I'd just listen. I was dominating, I was boxing well, and just come out with a victory. That's the main thing.
And did you expect him to get back up from when you knocked him down in the first round?
Yeah, do you know what? It was just like a sharp shot. It was like a more of a flash knockdown. So I couldn't really catch him clean. He was cute. He knew how to defend and whatnot. So I needed 10 rounds with him really to chip away at him and break him down. But I had 6 rounds, and I thought, you know what, I set a high work rate and make sure I win the early rounds. A flash knockdown come, so I just kind of thought, you know what, let's not take no big risks. So it takes one shot with them little gloves, mate. So yeah, very good win that was.
And then you got your first stoppage win at your call, and you won in 2 minutes 26.
Yeah, another southpaw. He was a bit raw. I just thought, you know what, because I was supposed to box a few times prior to that, so a lot of frustration. So I just thought I'll walk out there, get the stoppage for the people. Do you know what I mean? It was like a little more of a welcome back kind of fight, and then yeah, that was a good little fight. That was while I lasted.
And then you fought on the Matchroom, Matchroom show on the Katie Taylor undercard at Wembley Arena.
Yeah.
And how did it feel fighting at Wembley Arena and a Matchroom show?
Yeah, great. Listen, so prior to that, I just come off of a big injury, ruptured my whole tendons in my bicep and that. So they wanted me to have a year out, and this was 6 months this time, and they offered me this. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I was like, in this game, you're easily forgotten. So I felt all right. I started sparring after 6 months. I thought, let's just take the fight. I didn't really have no sparring for it, really. But I thought, look, it's just a great platform. I wanted to show that I could sell 400 or 500 tickets, tick the boxes. The fellow I box, he's durable, he's been around. You know what I mean? He's been around, he's tough, his game. I had a lot of ring rust and whatnot. But listen, I thought I was happy. I was happy with everything, really. And as the rounds went on, I started flowing, I started relaxing. So yeah, very confident boost, and it was good to feel for the Matchroom shows. This is great, great show.
And were you happy with your performance on the night?
Yeah, listen, a hell of a lot of improvements, and listen, I'm a lot of ring rust, loading up. I wasn't very fit. Like I said, I shouldn't really have been boxing. Really, it was more a risk, but I couldn't I thought to myself, so my arms are going to be better or it's not. And I thought, I've done 6 months of rehab here. Let me just jump in. And just get this over the line, and then we see what comes with that. And after that, I got a phone call from Sky Sports actually. I fought on Sky Sports in February. You probably got it written down somewhere. I can't remember the day. I think it was February, my last fight.
No, you fought Mohammed Ben Shad.
Yeah, in February. Yeah, in
Yeah,
February. Yeah.
yeah. On
So
Adam Azim card.
yeah, so Josh Allen, another good card to jump on. Show my worth. They gave me 4 weeks notice. I think I've done 400 tickets. Didn't spar again because the first spar back I was actually on holiday and they said, "Do you want to fight?" So I come back and then I did have my gum shield. So I sparred without a gum shield and my 2 front teeth knocked out in sparring. So I was like, "Oh mate," I was like, everyone was telling me to pull out. I was like, it's only teeth. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, just cracked on, mate. Listen, so we're men. So I mean, we push forward, mate. Is what it is. And
Good
boxed.
performance as well. You got the knockout.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I got the stoppage. I just thought, you know what? It was because it weren't at my weight, weren't at my natural weight, mate. Like he's massive. He's a big lad. So I thought, you know what? I'm experienced, all right. So I knew one of these. If I started loading up and having a tear up with him, it's 50-50 fight. And he's a bigger lump, so I thought I'd just stay at high work rate and just exhaust him. And he started breaking down 5 or 6 rounds, and he was out of there. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, good. Listen, I'm ready to rock and roll now, mate. I'm ready to push on. This is it. I'm ready. I'm ready.
And of course, you was meant to fight. I do believe you was meant to fight Friday. And why did that not go ahead?
Show got called off because of medical strikes or something during that weekend. So I just thought, oh, man, I won't be working with that platform again because they've done that twice to me now. So won't be. What I was trying to do, I was trying to be not being greedy, but I wanted to fill the gaps, would be busy. And sometimes it weren't really in my favour. It just weren't no good for me. So I just thought, I just focus on the fights that definitely penciled in, and it's been a blessing. It's been a blessing, really, mate, because that fight there on 11 was at 75 kilo, like near my weight. I'm boxing now, so I've made the weight, and then I thought, right, I'm gonna hold this weight now, really, and then lose the last little bit of weight. So it's kind of worked out ideal.
And of course, you've got Matt McCallum over 10 rounds, final eliminator, Brentwood Centre. And how's camp going so far?
Flying, mate. Listen, you're gonna always hear it from every other fighter, our best camp, but I can't for anything. There's no excuses. Come September the 2nd on my behalf. You know, I'm doing 18 rounds a week, if not more, sparring all sorts of fighters, all southpaw. You know, just sparred 8 rounds there with George Croy. You know, Team GB. You know, tricky southpaw, sharp hands. Sparred the Southern Area champion on Monday, 10 rounds. Who's more inside work, pushes you forward in a small ring. So yeah, ready to go, mate. I'm there to have 10 hard rounds, but good end early.
Of course, Matt McCallum. Have you watched his fights before? Like, have you watched Matt McCallum as a fighter?
Yeah, I've been watching him. It's just like, all I do is watch him. All I do is think about him. I think he must think that I'm under preparing or overlooking him. That's not me. That's not me, mate. I'm well up for this. I study every move, everything he's doing. I'm just watching him. So I have a vision in what I'm doing, and yeah, see everything, mate. I see a lot of gaps and faults I can capitalise on.
Of course, he is coming off 2 defeats. Do you think that's does that give you more confidence that he's coming off 2 defeats?
But he's gonna hell of a one. He's gonna want it a hell of a lot. Do you know what I mean? So I think he's gonna. I think when he knows he's starting to get beaten, he's starting to get hit. I think he'll start panicking. He's just either rush me or sit back. I think he's just probably rush and panic, and that's where he made the mistakes. And that's where he switch off. But yeah, look, I know I'm not sure. I'm not deluded. I know the lads he fought. They're big lads. They are big lads and whatnot. But I personally believe, I don't know, I think he might even be caught in between two weights, to be honest with you. Middleweight, he got 10 rounds. Listen, every weight you drop, yeah, it rubs off your performance. It takes it out of you. Do you know what I mean? So he was cut up and lean at 76 kilos. So 72 kilos, mate. Listen, it is what it is. They make it. Yeah, waterload or whatever you got to do, but I just can't. I think he can hold the shots, mate. I'm hitting too hard for him.
He was fighting at super middle, I do believe, at his last fight and the fight before. I think he said to me that he was a small super middle, but he says he feels more comfortable this way.
Yeah, you can't really say that really because he's never made the weight. So, do you know what I mean? He might think in his head he's more comfortable because he's looking, he's like, oh yeah, I'm bigger. But one hasn't made 72 kilos yet, and two hasn't boxed 72 kilos yet. So you can't really say anything about that really.
Mm. And do you enjoy, especially because your last two fights have been on the big stage, and this one is sort of the big stage as well? Because Johnny does put on good shows, and I do believe it's on Sky. And
Yeah.
like, how does that feel? You keep on going on these big stages.
Yeah, that's it, man. I just want to get busy. I just want to get busy. I don't care what shows or whatever. Want to fight, get these titles in, secure my family and my futures, my future life. Do you know what I mean? That's what it's all about. Putting the bread on the table. McCallum stepping in my way. He's trying to take food off my table. So we've got to deal with him 2nd September. But yeah, listen, it's great. It's great to be, in the mix of these big shows, show, what I'm capable of doing. And, you win a lot of people, a lot of fans and whatnot. They show, you get to, they see your personality. But yeah, I've got no ego in that way, mate. I just wanna fight. I'm a fighting man. That's what I'm about.
Yes. So this is your first 10 rounder, and
Yep.
do you feel like these 10 rounds will benefit you like the longer the fight goes on?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. I always get better, and I find my rhythm a little bit later anyway. So I'm a 10 round fighter. I've always sparred 6, 8s, 10s. You got to think I've never times like this, and for next year. I'm not just sparring for these fights. I've been sparring 8s and 10s and that to condition myself for long term. It takes months and months to be able to do these rounds properly. Do you know what I mean? So I've been doing this for a long time, man. Like, it doesn't matter if I've been scheduled for 6 rounds and whatever. I'm still doing 8s and 10s because I'm conditioning myself for the future. So yeah, 10 rounds would be great. And today's sparring was ideal, mate. Listen, I'm just on the right path, mate. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting.
Does it make it a bit sweeter that you're co-main event as well?
Yeah, it's nice, man. It is nice. It's great. It's great to be on a little bit late. I like boxing late. Gives more chance for people to get down there, and yeah, it's good. Do you know what I mean? Good little hype, innit? It's a good little buzz. Good pressure. That's what we need. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Do you have an army coming down from Luton?
Tickets, I think there's about 8 tickets left. All my tickets are sold out, yeah. So be a nice little army, all from all different areas, mate. Luton is obviously my town and great support there, mate. But it's in our network and I've got friends here and everywhere. So all parts of the country, mate. So yeah, it's gonna be noisy.
Mm-hmm. And how much tickets do you think you've sold? Like,
I've sold them out. I think they gave me I don't know. They gave me. I asked for an extra 3 tables. So what's that? That's extra 40. I've done about 180 tickets, maybe two, wherever it was. So something like that. I've asked. I think. Yeah, I've asked two extra tables and a handful of tickets, mate. So um, yeah, they will. I think there's like 10 left or something like that. So they'll be gone.
mm-hmm.
They'll be gone for the weekend. Payday for the people.
Is this fight going the distance?
No.
So you believe you'll get the stoppage win, well, knockout or TKO?
Yeah, I'll stop him. I'll break him down. Be too much for him. He's great. He's raw. He's just. I don't think at this weight he ain't gonna be able to hold a punch. He ain't gonna be able to hold a punch, man. Yeah, I'm knocking him out. I'll stop him.
And what do you make overall as of Matt as a fighter?
Yeah, look, it's game, man. Listen, he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he tries very hard, and he lives it and whatnot. But there's levels in this game. whatever you do in life, business or whatever you do, right, there's always levels. And he'd only have one half of a chance if I wasn't taking it serious, if I was cutting corners or whatnot, and I haven't done that. So I just feel I'm just too natural for him, mate. I'm too natural. I've been doing it for too long. I'm not gonna let him try to take it. Listen, it's great to get the opportunity. Do you know what I mean? It's great. It's fair play, but I'm not here to fuck about, mate. I ain't. I really ain't. He's getting it. Like I'm hyped up. I'm ready. I feel fierce. I feel aggressive. This is like have a couple of drinks after whatever, mate. But this during this time and the build up to the fight, mate, I don't really care. Do you know what I mean? I'm coming. I'm having it.
Hmm. Did you enjoy the face off that you did with him the other week?
Yeah, I just thought fucking. Do you know what? I thought he was a right lad, but I thought he was a knob because he sat down there. He was like, "So how's your weight?" I was like, "What are you on about?" I was thinking, "Why? Like, what? Are you all right?" And then he was like, "I don't know. I just thought it was just. I mean, I'm there to do a job. Do you know what I mean? I let him. He's obviously, all the media and all that. He's excited for it all, but man, listen, you got to play the game and you got to do bits and bobs, mate. But I don't really care, mate. I do it for my socials to build my brand or whatever. But it all comes down to 2nd of September, mate. It's just me and him. That's what it is.
What would this win do for you in your career?
Push me up, mate. Push me up. Like I said, I've had 5 fights, fight in the title eliminator already, straight into 10 rounds. Then we fight the winner of Brad Paul's midfield, and that's on my radar. And I
Hmm.
do believe it will be Brad Paul. So let's get that by the end of the year. But not looking ahead. Nowhere near looking ahead, mate. I'm fully focused on that, and we do the job on them.
So do you
2nd of
think?
September.
Oh yeah, because that was my next question. So you think Brad Pauls beats Mitch Frearson?
Yeah, yeah. I listen. I know Mitch. He's lovely kid, lovely fit. I've spoken around with him, but I think Brad might be a bit too much for him, mate. To be honest with you, if I'm honest. But I think they're boxing on the 23rd or 4th of September. So
23rd of September.
we will 23rd, yeah. So interesting. And you got some good fights on tonight. You got Dennis McCallum versus what's his
Beluta.
name? Beluta. That's it. Yeah,
Who've
good
you got
fight.
with it?
Good fight. I've got McCallum. I know McCallum very well. He's a
Yeah.
great fighter. But listen, he's got to be switched on, and you can't waste him because that geezer was fighting a nutcase. He'd be there for 10 rounds.
Yeah, mate.
Tough,
I do
tough.
believe it's a 12-round fight, but I think they're both incredible. Because Baluta's got that dog in him. Dennis loves to tear up. Dennis is very quick with his hands. I do believe Dennis could maybe get the stoppage late on.
Could do. Listen, styles make fights, but Dennis is a very natural, acceptable. He's a natural fighter. Do you know what I mean? I remember him coming down West Ham, 8, 9 years old, getting a train down there. You know what I mean? He had like the 8 pack when he was like 9, like
Hmm.
savage. So he's been about, and he deserves this. He puts the work in. So hopefully, he just does the job tonight.
Mm-hmm. Of course, you train down with Tony, and of course, Tom and Harry fought on Saturday. What do you are you impressed with how they fought?
Yeah, listen, Tony. I think Tom, listen, he's done well. Campbell Hatton's up and coming. He's getting better each fight. I think Tom could have, been on his chest and just let his shots go. This was his fight. He could have made it a little bit rough, but listen, he got in there. He done what he had to do. It's easier said than done. You know what I mean? He's in there at the end of the day. So, so yeah. And with Harry, but Harry had me up on my feet, mate, from round one. I thought, cool, because Johnny just ran out straight away. I thought, Jesus, but listen, Harry held, like credit to Harry. He's tough man. I think Harry could have been a little bit cuter. He was getting caught with the same shot. But listen, it's that fight there early on will put him in good stead for the future. It
Yeah,
really
yeah.
will. You know what I mean? Because you show how tough he is. You can't teach toughness. You can't teach having a chin. Do you know what I mean? It's that will put him both in good stead.
And
Do you
I
know what I
think
mean?
Harry got put down twice, but he kept going right until
Fine. It was fine. It was fine. Do you know what I mean? It's just
He'll come again, and I reckon he'll get that belt soon.
Yeah, of course. Listen, it's all just got to trust the process. This is boxing that happens, and it's just a night of character building. That's how I look at it.
With you, why did you not fight for the Southern area?
If it's there, it's there. It's just it don't really do anything, does it? It's not really like it's harder to fight for because people can vacate it or they can whatever. We're being
Yeah.
told we can back people up. We can back people up in the corner and say, right, this is it now. With the Southern area, I don't really know how it works. Tony was telling me like people can just basically say no and that's it. So I'm like, I said, just give me any toll, mate. If a British toll fight comes along this year, I'll say yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's just whatever comes my way, man. I'm taking both hands.
Yeah. And yeah, so how excited are you for your first 10-round fight?
I'm excited, mate. I'm buzzing. I can't wait. I can't wait. Just can't wait to get in there and show. Just I feel like I feel like a savage, man. I feel like an animal. I'm
Is
really
that due to the fact that you've had quite a few fights getting cancelled? Is that rearing you
yeah
up a bit?
that and I've just been training hard, mate, and I just feel good. I feel great. I feel good, mate. I just mate, listen, look, everything's good, mate. Life, business, my career, it's all good, mate. I wouldn't change anything. Wouldn't change anything, mate. So yeah, ready to go September 2nd.
What can people expect from Jordan Reynolds on the 2nd of September?
Heavy hands, accurate, explosive. Just clever work, mate. There's another level above. Obviously, just classy performance, and just pure domination. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And so have you got I forgot what I was going to say. Any anybody you want to thank, like just manager, sponsors?
Yeah, everyone. Look, I should have written down, mate. But listen. People who support me, they know. Listen, they know. I chat to them every day. My sponsors, my team. I chat to them every single day. The people who back me, sponsorship wise, it's not just sponsoring. And I do a runner, and I'm not saying I build a relationship with them. They've invested in me. I represent them. I want it to, I want us both to win in both ways. It's just not a one, one way traffic. It's about benefiting each other and building together, building relationships. So yeah, they know. Listen, they know. Head over to my Instagram. We need these new T-shirts coming from my sponsors, so you can check them out on there. And yeah.
Mm-hmm. And make sure you get down to Brentwood Centres September 2nd, because it's a packed show, top from bottom, and Jordan's fight might still fight of the night.
100%, mate. It's gonna be entertaining. 100%. Are you coming down?
I should be, because normally I do interviews at Johnny's shows.
Oh, nice. Go on, mate. It'd be nice to see you, yeah? It'd be nice to see you, and I'll introduce you to a few lads, all right?
Oh, thank you, mate. And yeah, good luck with the fight, and thank you for your time.
Who do you think wins, me or Matt McCallum?
Oh well, I'm staying neutral because I like you both, but all I can say, it's going to be an absolute war.
Nah, it's not. I want to smash his head in. See you later.
All right, bye, mate.